Friday afternoon, I was preparing dinner in the kitchen of our small apartment. I could hear my 3-year-old daughter Sophia playing with her stuffed animals in the living room. A peaceful, ordinary day. 5 years into our marriage, I still hadn't completely adjusted to this life as a stay-at-home mom. Having worked as a graphic designer, giving up creative work hadn't been easy for me. But when Sophia was born, I made a choice. At least for now, I wanted to treasure my time with my daughter. My cell phone rang. It was Mom. "Emily, how are you doing?" I heard my mother Linda's cheerful voice. "I'm fine." "What's up?" "Actually, the roof at the cabin is leaking. Could Michael come fix it? Come up this weekend with the whole family. Let's spend some time together, it's been ages." The cabin. A small house in the mountains my parents had purchased 10 years ago. I hesitated a bit. On the surface, my relationship with my parents seemed normal. But there was something awkward about it. It had always been that way. Especially since they started comparing me to my younger sister Jessica. "I'll ask Michael," I answered. "Please do. Jessica says she's coming too. It'll be the first time in forever that the whole family's together." I hung up and sighed. Jessica was single and worked in sales for a real estate company. She was a career woman, my parents' pride and joy. Meanwhile, I had quit my job to become a stay-at-home mom. My parents never said it out loud, but somehow they looked at me with disappointment in their eyes. As a daughter who had given up on her dreams. My husband Michael came home from work a little after 6. As an architect, he always came home looking tired, but his face would light up when he saw Sophia. "Daddy." Sophia ran to him. Michael scooped up our daughter and kissed me. "How was your day?" "Listen," Mom called. "She says the cabin roof is leaking. Could you help fix it this weekend?" Michael thought for a moment, then nodded. "Sure. I happen to be free this weekend." And so, Friday evening, we loaded up the car and headed to my parents' cabin. After driving about 2 hours through mountain roads, we could see the cabin nestled in the forest. It was a quiet place. There were hardly any other houses around. My parents' car and my sister's red car were already parked there. "Emily." Jessica came out from the entrance. She wore stylish casual clothes. Such a contrast to my old jeans and t-shirt. "It's been a while," I managed a smile. Dinner was pleasant. Dad Robert had mellowed since retirement. Mom Linda was as cheerful as ever, and Jessica talked happily about work. Michael and Sophia were both in good spirits. But as we were eating apple pie for dessert, Jessica said casually, "Aren't you going back to work yet? It's such a waste. You had so much talent." The air grew a bit heavy. My parents fell silent and looked at me. "I'll think about it when Sophia's a bit older," I answered quietly. That night, Michael took a flashlight and went to check the roof. When he came back, he was frowning slightly. "I'll fix it tomorrow morning while the weather's good," he said. As I put Sophia to bed, I felt a strange uneasiness. I didn't know why. Just something felt off somehow. The next morning when I woke up, Michael was already up. Looking out the window, I could see him carrying tools from the car. It was a beautiful clear day. Perfect weather for roof repairs. I woke Sophia up and we went downstairs together. In the kitchen, Mom was already preparing breakfast. The savory smell of toasting bread filled the room. "Good morning, Emily. Did you sleep well?" Mom turned and smiled. "Yes, thank you." In the living room, Jessica sat on the sofa drinking coffee. She had her laptop open and seemed to be working on something. Working even on the weekend. That was so like her. Michael came in from the entrance. He was carrying a toolbox and a ladder. "Good morning, Michael." "I'm sorry to have you up so early," Mom said. "It's no problem. I'll have it finished today," Michael replied. "Please be careful," Mom's voice was gentle. But beneath that gentleness, I sensed something different. Was it just my imagination? After breakfast, I started washing dishes in the kitchen. Sophia was playing in the yard. Michael was already preparing to climb up to the roof. As I washed dishes, I heard Mom and my sister's conversation from the living room. "The weather's perfect today," Jessica's voice. "Yes, everything's all set," Mom answered. "Now all that's left is..." Jessica's words cut off. I turned off the water and looked back. The two had gone silent. When our eyes met, Mom hurriedly put on a smile. "What are you talking about?" I asked. "Just about future renovations to the cabin. We're thinking of redoing the kitchen," Mom answered. "I see." But something felt off. Their expressions had been stiff for just a moment. Was it my imagination? I went back to washing dishes. Looking out the window, I saw Michael starting to climb the ladder. Carefully, one step at a time. The roof was high. At the very top of the 3-story cabin. "Emily, could you help me with something?" Jessica called out. "With what?" "I have some stuff in the upstairs bedroom. I'd like help organizing it." I looked at Sophia. She was playing safely in the yard. "A little while should be fine." "Okay." I followed Jessica upstairs. In the bedroom, several large cardboard boxes were placed. "These have old documents and photos in them. I thought I'd organize them," Jessica said. We opened the boxes and started checking the contents. Old family photos. Pictures of Jessica and me as children. Pictures of Dad and Mom when they were young. Nostalgic. But for some reason, I felt restless. I could see the yard from the window, but I couldn't see the part of the roof where Michael was working. "Hey," Jessica suddenly said. "If I got married and had children, what do you think it would be like?" It was an odd question. Jessica had always said she had no desire to marry. That work was her whole life. What brought this on? "Did you meet someone?" "Just hypothetically," Jessica laughed. But that smile seemed a little lonely. We continued working in silence. When I checked the time, 30 minutes had passed. I was worried about Sophia. "I'll go downstairs for a bit. I want to check on Sophia." "Okay. See you later." I went down the stairs and out the front entrance. Looking at the yard, I saw Sophia playing with her stuffed animals. I felt relieved. But I didn't see Michael. I looked up at the roof, but he wasn't there. Just then, I saw Michael running from the back of the cabin. He seemed to have hurried down the ladder. His face was pale. "Emily." His voice was shaking. My heart started pounding violently. Something had happened. Something was wrong. Michael ran up to me. He was breathing hard. His eyes stared straight at me. In those eyes was a mixture of fear and anger. "What's wrong?" I asked. Michael looked around. Mom was watching us from the window. Jessica was also looking out from the second-floor window. Dad was drinking coffee at the edge of the yard. Michael grabbed my arm and brought his face close to my ear. Then he whispered in a low voice. "We're leaving right now. This place is dangerous." "What are you talking about?" "I can't talk here. Just right now." His hands were shaking. I'd never seen Michael this upset. The calm, composed man looked like a different person. "Michael, what happened? Tell me." He took his smartphone out of his pocket. He showed me the screen. There was a photo of the roof. I stared at the screen. At first I couldn't understand what the problem was. But when Michael pointed to one spot with his finger, the blood drained from my face. A wooden support beam had been cut unnaturally. Marks that looked like they'd been made with a saw. As if someone had intentionally weakened it. This. My voice wouldn't come out. "It's been cut deliberately. If I put my weight on it, it's rigged to collapse," Michael whispered. I looked at him in disbelief. "Who? Why?" But before I could answer, a more terrifying possibility came to mind. The only people who had free access to this cabin were our family. And the ones who had called Michael here were. "Michael, you don't think. Pack your things. Right now." His voice was shaking but strong. "Get Sophia and get in the car." Michael's words echoed in my head. This place is dangerous. But my feet wouldn't move. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. "Emily, are you listening?" Michael grabbed my shoulders. "But, surely not my parents." "That's not all." Michael operated his smartphone again. When I went inside to use the bathroom, this was in Dad's study wastebasket. The screen showed an envelope from an insurance company. I could see the sender's name. It was our life insurance company. "This is." Michael swiped to show the next photo. It was a copy of a beneficiary change form. The beneficiary of Michael's life insurance had been changed from me to my parents. The date was 3 years ago. Around our 2nd year of marriage. "But, did you make this change?" "Of course not." Michael's voice shook with anger. "I didn't know about it. They probably forged my signature. Dad's a former bank employee. He's used to handling documents." The next photo. It was a receipt from a hardware store. The purchase date was 2 weeks ago. The items purchased included a saw and wood glue. My knees almost gave out. If Michael hadn't supported me, I might have collapsed right there. "The evidence is enough. We're leaving now," Michael said. Sophia ran up to us. "Mommy, what's wrong? Your face looks scary." I picked up my daughter. Her small, warm body. Our treasure. I had to protect this child. "It's okay, Sophia. We're going home soon." I tried to smile. But I could feel my face twitching. "But what about Grandma and Grandpa?" "Another time." We hurried to the car. The cabin door opened and my mother Linda came out. Wearing an apron, smiling. "Oh, you're leaving already. You haven't even had lunch yet." I looked at my mother's face. Mom's usual kind face. But now that smile looked terrifying. Could this person really? Really? "We remembered something urgent," I said. I desperately tried to keep my voice from shaking. "We'll come again." "I see, what a shame." Mom tilted her head. "Michael, how did the roof repair go?" "It's still in progress." "I'll come finish it another time," Michael answered. He was also forcing a smile. But his hands were clenched tight. We got in the car. We put Sophia in the child's seat in the back. Michael got in the driver's seat, I got in the passenger seat. Michael turned the key. We should have heard the engine sound. But nothing happened. "What's wrong?" I asked. Michael turned the key again. Just a clicking sound. The engine wouldn't start. "That's strange." Michael tried several times. But the car wouldn't make a sound. There was no problem yesterday. I looked out the window. Mother Linda was approaching. Behind her, Jessica was coming out too. Dad was standing in the doorway. All three of them were looking at us. What's wrong? Won't the car start? Mom knocked on the window. Michael pulled the lever to open the hood. He got out of the car and opened the hood. I got out too. We left Sophia inside. Michael looked into the engine compartment. Then he looked up. Seeing his expression, I understood everything. The battery cables have been disconnected, Michael said in a low voice. Oh my, Mom said. But there was no surprise in her voice. Jessica approached. Did the car break down? How terrible. Her voice clearly had mockery mixed in. She wasn't even trying to hide it. I looked at my sister. Jessica's eyes stared at me. Cold eyes. Not a trace of affection. Jessica, you too. My sister laughed. What are you talking about? You must be tired. Father Robert approached. For now, come back inside. We'll have to call a tow truck. But our cell phones don't have service, I said. You can use the landline in the house, Dad said. His voice was calm. But his eyes weren't smiling. I looked at Michael. He was looking at me. We were both thinking the same thing. If we went inside the cabin, it would be over. Michael squeezed my hand. Hard. I suppose. Michael started to say. In that moment, I made a decision. I grabbed Sophia from the car and suddenly started running. In the opposite direction from the cabin. Into the forest. Emily. I heard Mom's voice from behind. Go after her. Jessica's shout. Michael was running too. Following me. Mommy, I'm scared. I'm scared. Sophia started crying. It's okay, it's okay. Mommy's here. I ran desperately. The forest floor was difficult to run on with tree roots sticking out everywhere. But I couldn't stop. I heard footsteps behind me. Multiple footsteps. They were chasing us. Emily. Let's talk this through. Mom's voice echoed through the forest. It's a misunderstanding. Let me explain. A misunderstanding. What misunderstanding could there be? The rigged roof. The insurance beneficiary change. The battery cables. It was all planned. Michael caught up to me. This way. He took the lead. We kept running through the forest. How long did we run? I was about to run out of breath. But I couldn't stop. Through the trees, I saw light. The forest exit. Almost there. Michael shouted. We broke through the forest. A paved road. But there was nothing around. No buildings. Then I heard an engine sound in the distance. A car. I stood in the middle of the road and waved my arms desperately. Stop. Please stop. The car approached. It slowed down. And stopped. An elderly man looked out from the driver's seat. What's wrong? Did something happen? Please help us. My voice was almost a scream. Please. An elderly woman sat next to the old man. They both looked at us with surprised faces. Get in for now, the elderly woman opened the back door for us. Just as we were about to get in the car, 3 people emerged from the forest. Mom, Dad, and my sister. Mother Linda's face was twisted. It wasn't the face of a kind mother. It was a face I had never seen before. "To the police station, please," Michael said to the old man. The car started moving. I looked in the rearview mirror. The three of them stood in the road. Mom's face gradually grew smaller. Sophia was crying on my chest. I held my daughter tight. Michael put his hand on my shoulder. We had been saved. The elderly man at the wheel occasionally checked on us in the rearview mirror. The elderly woman next to him kept turning around with a worried look. "Are you okay? Are you injured?" the elderly woman asked gently. "Yes, thank you," I answered. My voice was shaking. Sophia kept crying on my lap. "Mommy, what about Grandma? Why did we run away?" How could I answer? I couldn't possibly explain to my 3-year-old daughter that her grandparents had tried to kill us. "I'll tell you later. It's okay now." Michael was explaining the location of the police station to the old man. It would take about 30 minutes by car to get to town. "We're Tom and Mary," the elderly woman introduced herself. "We were taking a weekend drive around the mountains. Never imagined something like this would happen. Thank you so much. If you hadn't come along." I couldn't finish my sentence. Mary took my hand. It was warm. "We don't know what happened, but you're safe now." We arrived at the police station a little after 1 in the afternoon. A small police station in a small town. When we rushed in, the young police officer at the desk stood up with a surprised look. "Attempted murder," Michael said. "We have evidence." An older detective was called immediately. His name was Detective Davis. A man with a calm demeanor. In the interrogation room, we told them everything. Michael showed the photos on his smartphone. The rigged roof. The insurance documents. The hardware store receipt. The car with disconnected battery cables. Detective Davis listened with a serious expression. He took notes and occasionally asked questions. "The beneficiary change was without your knowledge?" "Yes." "The signature must have been forged," Michael answered. "What's the insurance amount?" $3 million. The detective whistled. "That's a lot of money." I held the coffee cup with trembling hands. Hot coffee that the police officer had made for us. But the trembling wouldn't stop. "We'll head to the cabin immediately. We'll arrest them." Detective Davis stood up. "Please wait here." Tom and Mary were waiting for us in the waiting room. When we came out, Mary stood up. "How did it go?" "The police are taking action," Michael answered. "That's good," Tom said. "We'll stay with you. Something might happen." The two of them waited with us strangers for hours. So Sophia wouldn't get bored, Mary bought a picture book. Tom bought juice and cookies. 4 hours later, Detective Davis returned. "We've arrested all 3, he said. Linda Harrison, Robert Harrison, Jessica Harrison. On charges of attempted murder and insurance fraud." I sank into a chair. It was real. It wasn't a dream. My own parents, my sister, had really tried to kill us. "Did they say anything?" Michael asked. "At first they denied it, but when we showed them the evidence they went silent. Especially Jessica, she was quite calm. She had the look of someone disappointed that her plan had failed." Detective Davis explained the truth that came out during questioning. 3 years ago, my parents had changed the beneficiary of Michael's life insurance to themselves without permission. Using Dad Robert's knowledge as a former bank employee, they had forged documents. Jessica had been the mastermind. She had thought of everything. The roof rigging, disconnecting the battery cables. They had planned to split the $3 million insurance payout 3 ways. And the most terrifying thing: Jessica had intended to take Sophia. Jessica wanted a child, Detective Davis said. But she couldn't get married, couldn't have children. So she thought about taking her sister's daughter. The parents agreed. I felt nauseous. My sister had intended to steal my daughter. She was going to kill Michael and me and make Sophia her own. Would you like to visit them? The detective asked. I shook my head. Not now, I can't. But 3 days later, I returned to the police station. After talking with Michael, I decided. Just once, I would talk to my sister. The visiting room was surrounded by cold concrete walls. On the other side of the acrylic panel sat Jessica, wearing an orange prison uniform. But there was no color of regret on her face. I picked up the phone. Jessica picked up hers too. Emily, Jessica said. She wasn't crying. She wasn't smiling either. She just looked at me with cold eyes. Why? I asked. We were sisters. Sisters. Jessica laughed. You had everything. Our parents' love, a marriage, a daughter. I had nothing. That's. Shut up and listen, Jessica interrupted. You don't know, do you? What our parents always said to me. Be like Emily. Be kind like Emily. Get good at drawing like Emily. I was speechless. But you quit your job. You became a housewife. Our parents were disappointed. They said you'd wasted your talent. So I thought, I could make Sophia happier than you could. So you tried to kill us. You tried to steal my daughter. Steal? Jessica's eyes gleamed. She was supposed to be mine. Our parents agreed. They thought I was more suitable to raise Sophia than you were. I stood up. You're all wrong. Even if we share blood, you're not family. You'll regret it, Jessica said. When we're gone. I won't, I put down the phone. Never. The trial started 6 months later. The evidence was sufficient. All 3 were found guilty of attempted murder. They were sentenced to 20 years in prison. The insurance company restored Michael's beneficiary to the original. The forged documents were declared invalid. We moved to a new apartment. A bit bigger than before. I decided to restart a small graphic design business. My first work in 6 years. And my first clients were Tom and Mary. We're glad we could help you, Mary smiled. From now on, if anything comes up, let us know. They had no children. But every weekend, they invited us to dinner. Sophia started calling them Grandpa Tom and Grandma Mary. We weren't related by blood. But it was warm. Like a real family. A year has passed since then. My small design business is doing well. Clients are gradually increasing. I had a 6-year gap, but my hands remembered. The joy of designing, the fun of creating. Sophia turned 4. She started attending preschool and talks happily about her friends every day. She probably doesn't remember that day anymore. Or rather, I hope she doesn't remember. Today is Sunday. We're at Tom and Mary's house. We're having a barbecue dinner in the yard. Michael and Tom are grilling meat. Sophia is watering flowers with Mary. Daddy, is the meat ready yet? Sophia calls out. Almost, Michael answers with a laugh. Mary sat down next to me. Emily, how are you lately? Is work going well? Yes, thanks to you. I got 3 new projects this month. That's wonderful, Mary smiled. Seeing you shine makes me happy too. This past year, Tom and Mary have supported us like real grandparents. They celebrated Sophia's birthday with us. When I'm late with work, they take care of Sophia. We're not related by blood, but they're like a real family. Hey, Emily, Mary said quietly. Are you okay now about them? Them. My former family. Yes, I nodded. It doesn't hurt anymore. I'm not sad either. It just feels like something from a long time ago. Last month, a letter arrived from prison. From my mother. I hesitated about whether to open it, but eventually I did. Emily, please forgive me. I was wrong. That's what it said. But I didn't write back. I can't forgive them. But I don't hate them either. They're no longer in my life. That's all. I heard Jessica continues to refuse visits. Apparently she cries in her cell every day. I heard from the lawyer. Maybe she's finally realized the magnitude of what she lost. Father Robert had a stroke 6 months ago. Apparently he's hospitalized in the prison infirmary. I didn't go visit. There was no reason to. The meat's ready. Tom's voice rang out. We gathered at the table. Freshly grilled meat, salad, bread. Simple but warm food. Let's eat. Sophia said cheerfully. Michael squeezed my hand. Are you happy? He whispered. Yes, I smiled. Very much. After the meal, Sophia had Tom read her a picture book. Mary made us tea. Michael and I sat on the sofa, watching the scene. This is family. Not blood ties. The feeling of laughing together, crying together, trying to protect each other. Looking out the window, the sunset was beautiful. The orange sky was slowly changing to purple. A year ago, I thought I had lost everything. My parents, my sister, everything I could call family. But now, I have a family. Michael, Sophia, and Tom and Mary. We're not related by blood, but they're my real family. Mommy, look. Sophia came running. The origami that Grandpa Tom taught me. She was holding a small crane. A bit crooked, but I could tell she'd worked hard on it. That's wonderful, Sophia, I hugged my daughter. Michael joined in, and the three of us embraced. Warm. Comforting. This is our family. Tom and Mary smiled gently as they watched. The sun was setting. But I wasn't afraid of the darkness. Because I had light. The warm light called family. A new life begins here. I won't look back at the past. I'll face forward and walk one step at a time. Together with Michael, Sophia, and our new family. I gazed at the sunset outside the window. Beautiful. Full of hope. Tomorrow will surely be another wonderful day.